Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly what I have been warming. I've been back a little over a week from our vacation, and I have a nice little basket here full of goodies to share with you. First off though, I did want to do an updated report on what I hauled last week. One of the warmers that I've been trying out is the Verve, and this is an excellent warmer, you guys. I just moved it from the back room. So I want to show you that this big heavy dish and this really nice, pretty thick glass does an absolutely excellent job. So I would highly, highly recommend that. I know that you guys like your warmer reviews, and that one was good enough that I wanted to not just do an Instagram. I would say that that is worth every penny. It's extremely cheerful. It's very beautiful. I was a little bit worried about bulb glare, but it's really not too bad. I had it put in my Florida room in one of my cubbies back there in that little green shelf unit that I use, and it is doing just wonderfully on all levels, and I think it is a great warmer. So let's just dive right on in with what I have been warming. I've been all over the map because we've had snow and we've had sun. It's March in Michigan, and I started this morning with using up 2 half clams of vanilla barnwood, and in the back room in this warmer, which as I said I just moved to film so I could show it to you, I plunked in a couple cubes of Woodland Meadow. Now this is a bar that people don't talk about much. It was a new release last spring, summer, and it's in the fresh category, but for me, it's right between fresh and cologne with a little bit of sort of like daisies or little happy woodland white cottony blossoms. I really, really like this. It's growing on me more and more. This morning, we had the insulation guys coming to do things to prepare for the roof to get done on Friday, and I really forgot in the rush of what I was plunking in warmers and getting ready and all that, what I had put out there. And I opened the Florida room doors and thought, man, whatever that is that I just had out here, this is really, really nice. So if you liked red cedar and sage from our last Bring Back My Bar, which is more autumnal, it's more woodsy, but it's kind of like this is a more spring summer version of that. Just a couple cubes will throw very well, and I liked it a lot. And oddly enough, it paired pretty well with vanilla barnwood, which is in my quarterly club still. And this is a bar that we had in our holiday 5-bar collection, and it's an odd one, but I really like it. So it smells like vanilla. It smells like wood, but almost more like a resinous, perfumey wood. And then it has this kind of Fruit Loopy lemon note. It is a weird combination, but I like it. It's really the amber that does that Fruit Loop lemon thing, but it's a bar where I sniff it and think, is this really what I want in today? But then when I put it in, and especially after it's had a couple hours to cool out, it's just lovely. And it's very nice, and it paired very well with the Woodland Meadow. So another thing that I was doing this week, this was right after I got back from the cruise, I pulled a clam of lemon coconut chiffon, which I no longer have in my club, but I have a few of them. And this is nice, but I'm not going to miss it out of my club. Even though it's so good. It's got the coconut, like a really nice toasty coconut, is sweet, creamy lemon, but it doesn't last a super long time in my house. It's strong to begin with, but it just isn't something that goes a long distance for me. So the one that I may throw in my club at the end of the season if I'm missing that bar is actually strawberry lemon cake, which was new last year, but I'm getting better performance out of this than I was the coconut lemon chiffon. And even though this is strawberry lemon, cupcake, and vanilla buttercream, this one likes my house a lot. So it still gives you that happy springtime bakery note. And on cold, I think I do still prefer the lemon coconut chiffon, but this one is really good, and it sort of develops, and it makes your home smell yummy and spring bakery without the funny competing notes that then die that have happened to me with the lemon coconut chiffon, even though that scent all by itself is just sublime. Not that good for me. So then we had some really cold days, and I grabbed Cinnamon Bear, which when I was doing my transitional wax stash for you guys while I was on vacation, I don't think I showed you this bin, but I knew I was going to need a day where there was snow and I wanted cinnamon, so I put that all throughout the house, and it's just the best soothing wintertime cinnamon. You could use it any time of the year, but it's just very straightforward. And to make it slightly more interesting, I emptied a whole clam of sticky cinnamon bun between 2 different days, so I have kind of the continuation of the next day where I was still working on this with some other bars here that I put in instead of the Cinnamon Bear. But sticky cinnamon buns in my bi-monthly club, and it's probably going to stay there for forever. It is such a good, sweet, gooey cinnamon. So it takes something like Cinnamon Bear, which is basic, and it gives it a vanilla layer. It gives it a frosting layer. There really isn't any baked goods bun in here, unfortunately, but it is the nicest and longest lasting bakery cinnamon that I have. So these are really nice together. And then as I was still nursing the sticky cinnamon bun, I used up a whole clam of buckleberry. I think this was Sunday. This is such a nice berry smell, and it was just cuddly on a cold day. So it's dark, deep berries, a little bit of coffee cake, and a good amount of sort of cinnamoniness. Very nice. And then I used a couple cubes just in the Florida room, in the warmer that we're talking about back there, I believe, of oats and honey, so that as the sticky cinnamon bun was dying from 2 days worth of being in the warmers, a little bit of regular bakery. And this is such a nice, I don't have this in my club anymore either, nice toasty oats and honey kind of a scent. So the couple clams that I do have, I'll use a couple cubes here and a couple cubes there till it's gone over the summer, but that was really good. So then the day that I was going to warm, the first thing when we got off the boat was actually hibiscus pineapple. And you guys will laugh because I had taken soap and body wash on the cruise in this scent. It was driving me nuts that I could not melt it. So this is wonderful. So this has the mandarin, pineapple, hibiscus, a little bit of freshness. It's always in our spring summer catalog. We do not carry it in the body or soap line anymore, but if you ever can snag that in a flash sale, it's one of my favorite hand soaps that they've made. Really, really nice. And then I used up some La Nacero, which is just more of like a sweet freesia amber. There's patchouli in the notes, but I do not smell it. Just a light, sweet body care scent that went nicely with the hibiscus pineapple and didn't overpower it. So that was good when we first came back off of the boat. Another day, I was trying out Pink Berry Sandalwood, which is a new release. This is very nice. It's middle of the road with cherry. You definitely get the sandalwood. You get the pink berry. You get some creamy vanilla. It's very pleasant. Everything about it is middle of the road and just nice. But as I was melting this whole bar, I felt like I needed a little bit more sweetness, so I used up what was left of this clam of Candy Orchard from our February scent of the month, was it January scent of the month, whatever. It's supposed to be for Valentine's Day, which has like spun sugar, it's got raspberries, it's creamy. Those two were really good together. So then another day, I have to say that I struggled more to smell these, but when I could, they were very nice. Very vanilla. I put this in different warmers throughout the house. The best warmer for it was the Verve. When I put this, just a couple cubes, in the Florida room, I could really smell it. And this is such a sweet vanilla. I'm loving the scent. But I put it in some other warmers in other parts of the house that were higher up, like the one on my refrigerator, and I don't remember which other one. And I had more trouble smelling this there than I did in the Florida room. So maybe stick to medium zones or enclosed zones for this. But it's so pretty. It's just the nicest, happiest, sweetest vanilla. And then Evening Sky is reasonably subtle, but it's so good. Out of our new releases, this is definitely a favorite for scent appeal for me. This is so beautiful. It's like sultry and soft with vanilla and some florals, and I think there's some bergamot in here. And this, again, should probably be relegated to medium to small enclosed zones, but I wanted to use it out here, used up a whole bar. Could smell it now and again. And on a day, some days when you have more stress in your life, you don't necessarily want a super strong scent. This was perfect for one of the busy and rather draining days this week, and I really enjoyed that. So then another day when I was trying to just enjoy some calm, I used both of the lavenders that are currently available. So I emptied a whole clam of French lavender in warmers out here, and in alternate warmers, whipped vanilla lavender. So if you want plain herbal lavender, go for your French vanilla. If you want a little bit more sweetness, more nuances, something that's more akin to a bubble bath that would be vanilla, I would recommend the whipped vanilla lavender because it's got a little bit of coconut and that little bit of vanilla with the lavender to soften it. Very nice. And they were great alternate warmers. Very soothing, which is exactly what I needed that day. So then, I don't really know what days I was doing this conglomeration of spices and bakery, but I went through a whole clam of baked apple pie because I wanted comfort. There was just a day where I just wanted down home relaxing comfort, and that is what baked apple pie does for me. It's just enough in my house. It's not too strong. It's not too weak. It's bubbly and gooey with some cinnamon, but then it's sweeter because it has the baked apples, and there's a faint bit of crust in this, and it just made me super happy. And of course, If I was going to be in an apple mood another day or the same day, I think they were separate days, I did lots of apple butter frosting, which is sweeter, more buttercreamy, but that comforted me too. And then to sort of space those out, I used up some of my brick of sugar cookie and alternate warmers, and that of course is just a beautiful, only available in club scent, nice vanilla, but a cookie vanilla. It's not a buttercream vanilla, it's not a floral vanilla, it's not a sweet vanilla like very vanilla. It's cookies with a nice vanilla extract, and it's an excellent scent. Like if you're looking for a baseline bakery to mix with everything, I actually prefer sugar cookie to vanilla bean buttercream most of the time. So then, one of those days, I was also doing frosted ginger cookie in mostly the Florida room. This is so good, and it is currently in my bi-monthly club. It's just so nice. And you know what? Frosted ginger cookie, oddly enough, might be good in alternate warmers with vanilla barnwood. I'm not sure. But because they share this sort of lemony quality, I don't know if they'd fight or they'd work together, but I should try that at some point and see. Oh, this is so nice. Good and strong. Good for the springtime or the winter because it has that hefty, like cleansing ginger, but it's got the sweetness and the gooiness of a bakery, and it was just delicious. And then at some point I polished off some of the cinnamon vanilla, kind of mixed in there with who knows what other bars, just to kind of, fill that empty warmer that needs a little something, And so cinnamon vanilla is currently available, really creamy, right on the verge between a nice creamy vanilla and a nice spicy cinnamon, and it's just a great bar. So then what I've got left are a few things that were done in bedrooms. So in my older daughter's bedroom, she had some glacier water going. This is an old August scent of the month, and most of the time I'm okay. But the night that she had this, there's lavender, there's a definite, almost like a cologne body wash kind of a smell and a really crisp iciness. I asked her to turn this off because I was sitting out here and it was bothering me. And that's odd. There were a couple of scents that bothered me a lot. I didn't even bother to show you a couple of the ones that bothered me. Not trying to be clever here, because there were just some smells that I'm actually kind of shocked. I don't know if it's because I have been away for over a week. Maybe I got a little too much Scentsy going sometimes in my house, but I tried this. Well, she did in her room, couldn't handle that. And I also had saved a few cubes of prickly pear and agave, which I used to love. I tried to put that in. I had to take it right out. I'm like, I can't stand this. I don't know what's wrong with me, but this is not going well. So I don't know what that's about. I'm not trying to be a downer if others of you love that scent, but it actually physically bothered me this time. But anyway, aside from that, lilacs and violets I did in my older daughter's room. Beautiful smell. And I forget how nice this is. It's so old-fashioned. It's mostly lilac with a little bit of violet. It's about the only true old-fashioned floral we have in the catalog right now. So get yourself some of this if you are old school. And then I've got a couple that I was doing in my bedroom. White Sands, which is just always a home run. I needed this, I think, the same day that I was doing the lavenders. Rice milk, jasmine, makes you feel like you're back at the beach in a gentle swaying in the hammock with the beautiful warm breezes sort of away. So good. Midnight Mahogany, which I put in my club, took it out, put it back in, did some more deleting because my totals were getting too high, took it back out again. So I've got a couple of these. Hopefully it'll come back next fall because, of course, the minute that you kick it out of your club, it has its best performance of my lifetime, right? Because this just retired for fall, winter, and I don't know whether it'll come back next year. Plum leaf, a little bit of or maybe it's cinnamon leaf, a little bit of plum, dark woods. Subtle. I've had trouble getting this to perform. Put 3 cubes in my Twine to Unwind warmer in my bedroom. It was awesome, of course. So I hope we get that back in the fall. And then last but not least, I just recorded things on the new 2024 Epcot Garden Collection, and they also included last year's fragrances in things that are available right now. Soft Plumeria is by far my favorite of all of those bars of the ones I've melted so far. Put 1 cube of this in my bedroom and I am in paradise. This Soft Plumeria is creamy. It's got that little bit of teakwood to keep it balanced and a tiny bit of apple just so that it's not super, super sweet. It's very floral and it's just luscious and lovely. So that is everything I've been getting through in this last week. What have you guys been doing while I've been gone? I'd love to know what your favorite fragrances have been lately. Maybe something from the new catalog that you got in the mail or something that you see coming up. I know we have some more collections like the Mother's Day and others that will be launching. I finally ordered the Mother's Day bars. Those will be coming probably by next week. I have not gotten my scent in warmer of the month yet, but I will get there as soon as possible. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. And like I said, please tell me what you are really liking or maybe not really liking from your orders now from the beginning of March where you got your new catalog goodies. Have a great day, guys. It's nice to be back. God bless.